Hi, this is Zak Mir with the US penny stock highlights for Monday, the 3rd of August. Starting off with Accuray, where we've had a beautiful breakout of this near-term triangle, one that's been in place since May, just nudging the 200-day moving average, the orange line there, around $2.55 at the moment. End of day close above that, and we could be heading up towards that March resistance line projection, currently pointing at $3. Stop loss on the buy argument at the moment, probably the easiest would be just back below today's support, so sub 225 if you can afford it, or 230, 235 depending on risk appetite. Next contender is Chayo Group, or Chayo Group. Here we've got a nice, beautiful bull flag breakout there after the gap, recent gap as well earlier in July. End of day close above the July resistance, $8.35, which it looks like we'll get because we're already about an hour and a half before the close. Should take the shares up to a target at the top of that rising trend channel from last September, as high as $11.50. So basically your stop loss is either back below $8.35 or below the flag floor at $7.50 if you can stretch that far. Time frame the next month or so on the upside. Stock that I've looked at before and seems to be quite encouraging, Golden Bull Limited, living up to its name. Here we've had a break of that line of resistance from February, actually probably March actually in that situation, April in fact. April trend line break, the breakout level around $2.20. Current situation is that we're looking at further gains, especially while we hold above that initial July peak at, let's say, $2.50. So above $2.50, looking for the top of that rising trend channel from earlier in the year at $4.40 over the next couple of weeks, or 2 or 3 weeks, I suppose, given the current rate of progress. Next stock, Marathon Patent Group, which is just spectacular in terms of the spike higher that we've had today. In fact, it was flagged, or the rise was flagged by that gap above the 200-day moving average and through the neckline resistance at $1.43 from June, I suppose the week before last. Great progress since then. To see where we are in the bigger scheme of things, we've got, I suppose, resistance on the way down around the 280 to 290 areas now become support on the bottom of today's gap. While we hold above 290, looking for a test of that September 2018 resistance line projection at around the $5.20 mark. A stock which is familiar here, Riot Blockchain. I think we covered this. This may be the 3rd time we've looked at this in the recent past, so that's good news. And probably the more that a stock repeats, the better, more reliable the trend is, the uptrend that is. Broke that line of resistance from June late last month, and the view at this point is that while we're above the late July high, late July resistance at $3.20, looking for at least a proper move towards $4.10, which is that February resistance line projection. End of day, end of week close above $4.10 could take us up to $6, which is the top of the wider channel there, the upper parallel from this time last year on the daily chart. And I suppose that we're looking at that for the end of September at the current rate of progress on Riot Blockchain. Very good looking chart, which I haven't seen before, is Trevena. Here we've had a gap higher through previous resistance after a long bull run that we've already seen that long recovery for the shares after the March bear trap gap reversal. The view here is that at least while we're above this former resistance from April 2018, and also the floor of the gap around $2.30, we could see progress towards that October resistance line projection from 2018 as high as $4.80 over the next 1 to 2 months. So above the $2.35-40 area, as high as $4.80 for Trevena. A couple of stocks now coming up which we've looked at before, which, as I said, normally is good news. First one is Universal Security Instruments, making great progress after that breakout that we had through the $1.85 level last week. Looks like it's heading towards the top of that trend channel from late last year at $3.50, while we hold above the $1.85 area. Difficult though at this stage to have a stop loss probably tighter than $2.10, which was the former resistance in October 2018. So at least while we're above 210, certainly very much in full bull mode for universal security instruments. Stock which I like the sound of more than anything else. It sounds like it's going to be a big company one day. United Microelectronics could be the next Microsoft, I suppose. Here we've had a couple of gaps higher, 3 gaps higher actually in the recent past. Looking for a top of June 2018 price channel target around the $4.50 mark initially, which is not too far away. End of day, end of week close above that, and we've got bigger things through the $6 mark. That would be hitting a line of resistance from way back in February 2017. So quite a long dated trend line there to shoot for, but as I said, a weekly close or an end of day close even above 450, and we could get the shares of United Micro on the way to $6 plus. Finishing off with a new name, and here we've got XpresSpa Group, looking quite decent in terms of being, I suppose, a new setup. We've broken, well, just from last week really, we've broken that line of resistance from June versus let's say $3.45 above that, and certainly looking for a move towards the top of the trend channel from October last year, as high as I suppose $9.80 would be in sight there. If you want a tighter stop loss there, probably back below $3.90 and below the latest gap to the upside, and initial July resistance would or may do the trick. That's it from me today. More updates tomorrow.